X. It is Brother John, your brother from another mother, like no other. And, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very excited because what's taking place today is one of my favorite conversations every year. And we're talking about FAFSA. And, y'all know that mean money, right? Y'all know that mean my baby can go to college and we can be less coins coming out of the household if we take care of our business. Now, I got three people that's about to introduce themselves, and we're going to have a conversation about FAFSA. And, ladies and gentlemen, some rules that may have been changed. And these are the people that's going to help you understand on how we need to get ready for FAFSA. Because I remember, correct me if I'm wrong, the date used to be a little earlier, but right now the date hasn't been open yet, ladies and gentlemen. So this is why this conversation is so important that I want, if you know somebody that's getting ready to go to college, y'all, and they haven't done nothing, this is that conversation you need to listen to. So let's introduce ourselves so everybody know who's in the building with Brother John today.
Good afternoon. My name is Constance Sershin, and I'm the high school counseling manager for Memphis Shelby County Schools.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Roderick Johnson. I'm the current director of financial aid at Lemoyne Owen College.
And good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rosie Britton. I am director of admissions, recruitment, and K-12 partnerships at Southwest Tennessee Community College.
Wow, we got some heavy hitters in here, ladies and gentlemen. So, some of y'all have been here before, and our young brother here, we going baptize you today.
Yes, sir.
But the thing is, we got to get this information to the families, right? So, Dr. Sershin, since you've been with me before, and this is something that I know is near and dear to your heart as well as our guests. But opening this thing, I want you to kind of open it with the importance of the change or any changes that has happened since last year and where we are right now with FAFSA.
Absolutely. So I know that there were a lot of changes this year to the process and to the terminology, the words that we use when we talk about the FAFSA. But one thing that hasn't changed is that it is still the key to our students getting the money that they need in order to go to school. I think for me, one of the biggest changes that I want to highlight to parents is the creation of what some of them may have heard of before as the FSA ID. And that is the ID that the student and the parent, and in some cases both parents, will need in order to complete the FAFSA.
Okay.
This used to be step 10 in the process,
Step 10.
Step 10. It used to be the last thing that you would do as you were signing that application. But
Okay.
now,
It's
step number 1.
Oh,
You
man.
can't even start the FAFSA without creating this ID. And the tricky thing about it is, I could sit down and say, you know what, today is January 1st, and I want to start working on my FAFSA. Let me create this FSA ID, and I sit down thinking I'm going to get it all in one day.
Mhm.
You don't. There's a waiting period between,
Whoa.
yes. So
A
that's
waiting
We
period.
got to let them know.
Okay, yes. Let us know. Let us know now.
You gotta let them know. So a student and a parent can create their FSA ID, but it may take approximately 3 days before they can actually use it to sign into the FAFSA. So you gotta have to plan a little bit when it comes to the financial aid application process this year. It's not I'm gonna sit down and do everything in one day.
Okay. So let's go ahead and set the ground rules. It's not a one and done thing. No more.
Not anymore.
So we really need to plan accordingly, is what you're telling us, right?
Absolutely.
You want to chime in on that?
You also need to plan for when you, on the FAFSA application, it gives you 10 schools, eligible schools that you can list. However, when you start contacting the financial aid offices, that window of opportunity also has some time constraints too. It takes about 24 to 72 hours before an institution will receive a copy of your FAFSA application.
Oh, so this like we might have to have a couple of sessions to get this information to the people. But what do y'all think happened? Was it that FAFSA became so popular, or the federal government with this money, they want to make sure that everything is going where it's supposed to go? Because back in the day, I remember it was like, September 1st, October 1st, I'm staying up at midnight to 12:01. I'm hitting submit. Okay, I know how much money I'm getting, so now that's out the window.
Yeah.
That's out the window.
Right.
All right. So what do you think? What has happened? Has it got so popular, or is it the money they really want to make sure everybody's accounted for?
I think what happened from my perspective or my lens as a director of financial aid, I've kind of seen the trends where students are not going to school. The applications are a little confusing. Getting the money has been confusing, and there's no pipeline that kind of is created to help our students to fund their educations. But with 24-25, with this FAFSA simplification that the Department of Education has released, it should make it more students should be more Pell eligible now versus not being Pell eligible prior to 2024.
Okay, so we got some checks and balances to kind of
Absolutely.
make this thing right. Now, I remember, was it last time we was here, we left a lot of money on the table in years
Absolutely.
past.
Yes.
Yes.
So, have we gotten any better, or are we still leaving money on the table? Because it seems like all of the rigmarole is because we haven't been taking care of what we needed to take care of.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think a lot of times, sometimes with the application, students and parents have stopped short of actually completing it. They think that once they hit that submit button, that's it. But you actually have to go back in sometimes to add additional information. Sometimes there's a verification process where, Southwest may say, ma'am, we need to get a copy. We need to verify the tax information that you placed on your application. And some students and parents don't know, or they just let the ball drop, and then that money is just left there. That student misses their opportunity to have that financial aid to further their education. And so we want to make sure that we're helping them through the process from beginning all the way to end.
So,
that
I mean,
we
do we
can
need to
avoid
make a
this.
rap song or something? We need to do
Something.
something. I mean, we got to put something in rotation because we got to have some bars for this because it seemed like we really need to, and I'm serious, I'm saying it, but I really think we need to take this a step further in making some PSAs
Absolutely.
to kind of remind folks every day, because what you said about waiting the 3 days and then contacting the schools and then it's a 3 day. I mean, parents gonna need some help navigating this. I know at Southwest, I don't care, Southwest, Lemoyne, University of Memphis, everybody still got to go through the same process, correct?
Absolutely. This application determines whatever federal aid that they may be eligible for. It helps to determine how much they're eligible for. And back to Dr. Johnson's point, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they even have a smaller window when they need to have it completed.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, it's going to be deleted.
What?
45 days.
45.
I believe. If they don't
45
have it
days.
completed in 45 days, that's another huge change. It's going to be deleted, and that student's going to have to go back in and start all the way over.
Yeah.
But, ladies and gentlemen, the process is so much easier now. The FAFSA application had, a lot of questions. They've eliminated at least 26 questions.
Look at him. He coming with the facts. 26
Based off of
questions.
how you go through the application process, it'll only take you a few minutes to do the actual application. And to that point, you said something about leaving money on the table. The state of Tennessee has a huge advantage that a lot of states don't, which is the lottery program.
Okay.
The lottery program, once a student does his or her FAFSA application and the institution participates in the lottery program, that's more money that you have in a pot that you're now eligible for based off of you doing a FAFSA application and some of the limits or the amounts that you can receive based off of this new SAI, which is the index versus the EFC on the
You
FAFSA
with a new
application.
term, SIA. Now, what is that?
It's the Student Aid Index. It's basically it. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have completed a FAFSA application before, after the application has been submitted, it typically would tell you what an EFC is, which
EFC
was
is.
expected family contribution.
So let's break that down.
Okay.
Is that the money that we supposed to get to go towards tuition and all that, or is that the money we maybe ballpark figure we allowed to get?
You may be eligible for it. The EFC used to control the amount of Pell Grant only that a student could receive. And so based off of this new calculation process, it should be where students are now at a poverty level of calculation versus actually the income in the household.
Now break that down again. You said poverty level to now help the person that's watching and listening what that means.
So according to the Department of Education or the United States, everyone has a poverty threshold based off the income in the household and the amount of people in the household. So we used to have ways you could link the tax information directly from the
I remember
IRS.
the tax thing used to be the biggest thing.
And you can still do that, but now it's a little bit more verifiable, where what you put on your taxes has to match what's being reported on the FAFSA application.
Oh, so you can't be like, well, yeah, in 2021 I did this, and then on the FAFSA it's a different number.
Nuh-uh. It's completely different. But to Dr. Sershin's point, that FAFSA ID is going to be the most important piece to start with, because once you get over the hurdle of creating the FSA ID, the application process is easy. It won't take you long to do the FAFSA application after you've completed that.
So why the ID? Why we got what's the most important thing about this FAFSA ID? Because if it was step 8 or step 10 last year, now it's step 1. I mean, what's so important about it?
I want students and parents to think of the FSA ID as their signature. And this is a signature that's not just for senior year in high school. Even as a graduate student, that FSA ID will still be needed. Even as a loan repayer, hopefully we're not getting into a whole bunch of student loans, but that FSA ID will still be with them. And so it is truly, think of it in terms of, it's their unique financial aid signature that's used throughout the application process.
So we definitely need parents. We need that
FSA ID.
Off top.
Yes, then they can go in and create that today.
Okay.
And that's what we're hoping to do to really promote this week, with this being MSCS's FSA ID week.
Right.
We're really trying to push the promotion of that within our high schools this week.
So where do they have to go for that? Like, where do they go to apply that? I mean, to fill out that information?
www.studentaid.gov.
One more time.
www.studentaid.gov.
Oh, so this going to the government site. So this for real.
Absolutely.
We trying to make sure they want to make sure everybody's present and accounted for.
And can we just say this very quickly?
Come on, say it, Dr. Sershin. Come on, this your show.
Because I love my people. I love the city of Memphis. I love our students. And I don't want anybody to be deceived
Kathy
out
like
here.
to say, Miss Hart, you like to say, these are our babies.
Right, these are babies. We don't want anybody to be deceived. Please don't go to FAFSA.com.
It's no longer available.
All these.
So is that another?
Sites,
That's another exclusive.
People will get really sneaky and try to create things to deceive our people and get their personal information. Look for the .gov.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Look for the .gov.
We out here doing stuff like that, creating cyber crimes. What?
Yeah.
All right. So now, once we have the ID done, what's the next step?
The application.
So you shouldn't take a break and talk about, I'm gonna get back to this tomorrow once I got my ID. Go ahead
and do it.
Get you a cup of water and come on back and finish, right?
I would say at least, on a night, set about 30 minutes, about 10 minutes for you to get through the verification process to set up your FSA ID. And after you have completed that process, you can go through the application. It takes about 15, 20 minutes. But not only does the parents have to create an FSA ID, the student has to create their own FSA ID.
What?
So both people have to have an FSA ID to
so
be able
you can't
to log
just
in.
leave mom or dad at the computer and you go get on your other computer. You need to be right there too, because you need to do the same thing.
Absolutely. And you might want to have your cell phone handy, because it will ask you to verify, that you are who you say you are, so we can't have somebody out in India creating a code for you.
Got you.
So and so the really neat thing that I like about it is that there's actually a worksheet to help our students and our parents as they're creating the FSA ID.
Oh yes.
Because as Dr. Johnson mentioned, there's a time frame. I think, and Ms. Rosie mentioned this as well. There's a time frame to start the FAFSA and finish it. There's also a timeout for creating the FSA ID. You can't sit there for 3 hours and ponder those challenge questions.
Should I put this down there? Should I put that?
Yeah.
You need to go ahead and get through it.
Fill out the worksheet in advance. All the high school counselors have it.
Say that again. So look in that camera and tell them, because I want everybody to know.
See your high school counselor, your senior counselor, for a copy of the FSA ID worksheet. There's a step-by-step guide, and it tells you exactly the information that you'll need in order to create your FSA ID. That's typically going to be your social security number or name, an email address that's not your school email address. So we don't want to use your, scsk12.org one. We want you to use something that's permanent that you're going to have because you'll need to update this application
That's
every
a
year.
major key.
It is. It
That's
really
a
is.
major
That is
key.
key.
So basically, they needed another email other than that SCS K-12 for the
Absolutely.
students
And the
And the
parents.
and the
Parents
parents.
most likely have one, but if I wouldn't tie it to like a work email address where 5 years down the
Something
road.
happened.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. So I would go with a personal email account, Yahoo, Gmail, something like that, and then also go ahead and try to think about the challenge questions. I was at a conference and they said that that's actually one of the most time-consuming things. And we're used to filling out challenge questions,
Right.
when we're creating a password or something. But sometimes people put a little too much thought in it as they're pondering. It'll
Right.
time out and it'll make you start over. And so I've worked with students and that's happened, and
Wow.
we don't want to do that. So it's a good idea to complete the worksheet in advance so that you can complete the FSA ID in the set amount of time.
Absolutely.
All right, so I want all three of y'all to answer this, and I want y'all to look in the camera again because I want you all to say how important this year's FAFSA season is going to be, because just in the little bit that y'all told me, I got to do this next year. But I'm already nervous, and y'all just told me a couple of things, so I'm like, I'm counting in my mind like we don't want parents to feel overwhelmed.
Right.
But from each one of y'all, we can start with you, Sister Rose. I want you to just look in that camera and tell them how important it really is and how we really need to buckle down and focus this year, because the date has not opened yet, right? Do we have a date, or is
It will open up December 31st.
December 31st? So we got time
Yes, sir.
now. So starting with you, sister, if you could, talk, look in that camera and let the people know why it's so important this year.
It's crucial. I think important is an understatement.
Oh, crucial. I
Yes,
like that.
I think it's crucial.
Sit down, Brother John. I got this.
We talked last year or earlier this year about how over $2 billion were left on the table.
Say that again.
$2 billion. That's
2 billion,
billion,
not
with a B,
million. Billion was
Yes.
left on the table.
for the state of Tennessee. That's a lot of aid that could have gone towards helping a lot of students and covering any of their financial aid needs per se. So it's very important for the parents and the students, or I'll even say contributors, because that's another term
Contributor.
change. That's a part of the FAFSA.
Contributor.
They call it the contributor.
What is that?
Whoever's going to be
Contributing-
exactly contributing towards
Versus
any
the
of the
parent
costs.
of the student.
Right,
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
parent or guardian, they're now calling contributor.
Okay.
So it's going to be very, very crucial that the student and their contributor is together. It leads to one of the events that we're going to be hosting this Thursday, because we want to give them the opportunities to hear this information straight up from the financial aid experts, like Dr. Johnson, and I'm also give a kudos to Dr. Sharita Robertson, who is our director
Go
of
ahead and give
financial
her her
aid
props.
and the interim AVP of enrollment services at Southwest. We want to make sure
that was a nice plug. That was a nice plug. I saw that.
we want to make sure though that everyone is well informed about
Bingo.
this.
Bingo.
If you have questions, ask the questions.
Right.
Don't let anyone intimidate you and say it's not a stupid question. Don't think it's a stupid question. What doesn't make sense is not asking it
Right.
and not getting the information. So we want them to feel comfortable and know this is a safe space for you to come, ask questions, and get the information you need.
All right.
I'm gonna piggyback off of what she stated. She said it's important. It's crucial. I want to say it's imperative. This
Another
year
word.
that
That's what I'm
you-
talking about.
the-
So get your word ready, Dr.
Uh-oh,
Johnson.
look.
You're going to have to get your word ready.
It is absolutely imperative. With $2 billion, I'm an advocate for education, especially being the director of financial aid at Lamorne College, where the magic happens. I want to make sure
Quick
that
plug. I like that. I like that. Real quick.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, it is so important. $2 billion, not only $2 billion, but just imagine how much state funding we leave on the table. Again, ladies and gentlemen, when you're buying your lottery ticket, you are actually investing into someone's education. So
Oh,
let's
somebody
bring
from the lottery about to hit you
absolutely.
up. Right?
So
That's-
let's bring it a little closer to home and help your children or your contributors to get the FAFSA application done, because it is not a tedious process. There are financial aid administrators that will be at Southwest Tennessee Community College on Thursday. helping students and parents to fill out the FSA ID. There are so many pipelines and so many areas of opportunity that we partner with other financial aid administrators to make sure this process is steady, and we are working together to get our students the money that they actually deserve versus just something that we're just going to do. So, ladies and gentlemen, please prioritize now. You have a few weeks left until December 31st until it opens. Go on and create your FSA ID so that when it comes time to that application opening, you are one of the first to get your application completed.
Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, Dr. Search, you got to close this out now. Look, you representing now.
Look, I don't know if I can top or add much more to what they've already contributed. I just want to speak directly to our seniors and to their families. It is of paramount importance. How'd I do?
That's it.
Y'all done came with the words, my little important. I ain't saying important. No, Kathy, I'm not saying it no more. I'm not saying important. I'm not saying important.
Yes, but it is incredibly important that we see you all this Thursday at Southwest for this event. We have an amazing array of partners throughout the city of Memphis representing Southwest, TCAT, the University of Memphis, and
Lemoyne in the building.
So happy to have y'all on board. And we just really want to come together to share information about admissions opportunities, as well as to speak to all the changes with the FAFSA, and to make sure that you all are informed and ready to complete this application when it opens on December 31st. So
y'all did a great job. You want to chime in?
I want to go back and chime one more thing, ladies and gentlemen. As you're looking at your schools that your scholar wants to go to, go on and start looking on the institutional scholarships and meeting those deadlines. There's a lot of money that we throw away federally, but there's a lot of money from institutional pots that we don't utilize either, because we don't go to the financial aid websites and research some of the institutional aid that's merit-based and that you could qualify for just basically coming to their school. So utilize all tools this year. Don't leave anything on the table.
So let me ask this question outside of FAFSA, because some people, if they, like you said, they go to the college and they might need some more scholarship, right? Now we know FAFSA is one thing, but should people be applying now as well for other scholarships, because we know that the FAFSA is not covering every single thing?
Absolutely.
But can you talk? One of you all talk to parents about the importance of still filling out the other scholarships, because I know that's needed.
Absolutely. I have to reiterate Dr. Johnson's point. Research. Because even in applying and looking for these additional scholarships, you also have scammers out here that are basically trying to poach people and asking for certain information.
They scamming college parents trying to get their babies in school.
They're getting that personal identifiable information, and they're running with it. So we say have your list of your schools that you know you are strongly considering, especially if you're a high school senior. At this rate, you should at least have your top 5 already selected by now.
Okay.
And go ahead, research. Check out their websites. Contact their offices and see if you can talk with someone. Find out what additional scholarships does the institution offer. So you have your federal aid, your institutional aid. And a lot of that institutional aid, the amount is contingent upon what you're eligible to receive federally.
Say that one more time for the people in the back that wasn't listening.
A lot of the institutional aid, which is the financial aid that the college itself gives the student, is contingent upon whatever that student is eligible to receive from the FAFSA. Yes. So it's important you do your research. A lot of colleges have deadlines in December, some January, especially if you're looking to go in the fall of 2024. So the time is now. Have your research already done. If you don't quite understand what's on the website, contact someone. Call them. If you need to come up to the school, do a visit and ask, can I sit down and meet with someone and talk to them?
And that's okay, right?
That's perfectly fine. That's what we are all here. Regardless of what institution we're representing, we all have a charge. Look, I almost said a charge to keep I have. We all have a charge. And that charge that we're tasked with is making sure that before that student leaves our office, before they leave that campus, they are well informed.
Right.
And that's the end goal. But it's crucial. Again, I got to throw that word.
It's
crucial,
all right.
Imperative,
Paramount.
that
Yeah.
you do your research about those scholarships that are available, because that's the other thing we're going to highlight at the event. Each school has different types of scholarships that the school themselves offer. Of course, we are a Tennessee community college, so we offer 2 year. You have the private HBCU. We have two public 4 year, and then we also have a technical school with TCAT. So there's an array.
Way to break that down. That was
Yes.
real smooth how
So
you did that. I
there's
like
an
that.
array of different aid that all of us offer that's specific to our institutions.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Now, before we wrap up, is there anything that we didn't miss or that we missed, or anybody want to chime in on something or a point that we need to drive home? Because, like Victoria said, we may come back. I really want y'all to come back. And I'm maybe once or twice, and I want us to compose some PSAs because this information is crucial. What's your word?
Imperative.
And what's your word?
Paramount.
So we need to really get this information out here. But is there any closing remarks y'all want to say before we get out of here?
Absolutely. So this Thursday, December 7th, we are going to be hosting a kickoff, a Memphis 901 area kickoff.
Okay. All school, all area.
There you go.
Everybody in the
Even
901.
If you are not part of MSCS, but if you are and you have a friend who goes to municipal school or private school, tell a friend to tell a friend. Because
Okay.
this is information that everyone needs to be aware, because it impacts everyone, regardless of what district of the school that you're attending.
Okay.
So we're going to be hosting it at our Southwest Tennessee Community College Macon Cove campus.
Okay.
Again,
Macon
that's
Cove,
this
not
Thursday.
downtown, but
Right,
Macon
not downtown.
Cove.
Macon Cove campus. And it's going to kick off. We're going to kick off with an engagement fair at 5:30. So
Okay.
we're asking people to come in. That gives you a chance to meet with some of the college reps, talk to them, somewhat of a mini college fair setting, and then we start going into the information at 6:00.
Beautiful.
Okay, and then when we're done, we do have a time segment that allows parents and families or contributors to ask questions if they have any questions. If you don't feel comfortable asking a question in front of the audience, again, we're going to have representatives there that can stay behind and talk to you. Also, if they wish to go ahead and create that FSA ID while they're there, we will have computer labs open to allow them to do that.
Oh, come
while
on,
they're there.
parents. You got
And we're
resources,
going to-
parents.
Absolutely, and we're going to have some of our financial aid specialists there present, so if they need some assistance along the way, they'll have someone there to assist them. So that's going to be this Thursday, December 7th, 2023, at 5:30 at Southwest Tennessee Community College, Macon Cove campus in the Ferris building.
All right. Thank you so much. Our good representative from Lamar, Owen. What's your closing remarks, sir?
I just want to make sure I highly stress, this application is simple. So don't put it off like we've done previous years before. 24-25, the Department of Education has made it 20 times over easier for each contributor to get through the financial aid application process. So go on and get started. If you need any help, the Lemoyne College, where the magic happens, we are always ready to assist you and enroll you for fall 2024.
Love it. You want to get a plug in before we go to Dr. Sershin? You can get a plug in?
Go on. Yeah, go on.
Okay. All right. Dr. Sershin, finish us off, please.
I want to finish off with a teaser
Okay.
of sorts for our parents and for our students. So we're kicking things off with a lot of energy and excitement this Thursday, but wait for it. In January, February, March, and April, we have some special things planned for you. We're not going to leave you to figure this out on your own, so be on the lookout. We'll be all around the city each month.
Absolutely.
At the start of the year to help.
That's a couple months.
That's a couple of months. We will be strategically placed throughout the city with our awesome team to help students and parents with actually completing the FAFSA. So.
And I'm glad you said that, and that brings up another question. Look, we could talk about this all night, but can one of y'all talk about the collaboration? Because nobody's set tripping, right? Even if U of M was here, Christian Brothers, whoever, TCAT,
Absolutely.
it seemed like this puts us all on the same playing field. Can one of y'all talk about the importance of that collaboration right now?
I hate to keep using the word. I guess we're going to just keep.
Go ahead.
using
Go
those
ahead.
words.
Go ahead. It's all right. It's all right.
It's crucial. It's imperative. It's paramount. But in all seriousness, though, I think it's very important because, as I mentioned earlier, this impacts everyone.
Right.
We know there's a certain audience of students that are usually drawn to certain colleges.
Right.
However, you have all the different colleges coming together. This is the higher ed community. This is an initiative that we are all pulling together.
Right.
Granted, we would love for students to come and apply and become a Saluki for fall 2024. There's my shameless
Yeah,
plug.
the shameless plug. She got her shameless plug in.
Join the Saluki family. Just saying.
Right.
But even with that, we all still have a partnership partnership. Even with
Right.
us being a 2-year college, even with TCAT being a technical institution, and then with our 4-year schools, students know they have a different avenue.
Okay.
Maybe they are not ready for a 4-year institution. They prefer starting off with a technical certificate or starting off with an associate's.
Right.
They can still segue into any of these other schools.
Gotcha.
So all of that it just further speaks to the partnership that we already have, even academically speaking, but having that collaborative mindset to say, listen, this impacts everyone.
Right.
Let's work
That's
together and get
beautiful.
the message out there to
Right.
the entire Memphis area.
Right.
And so
Thank
that's what we're doing. And I have to say, I know I speak on behalf of Dr. Sersha when I say this. It's beautiful to see people willing
Yes.
to say, listen, we want to join in. Let's do this.
Right.
Because it's crucial, and we know that historically Shelby County has been known for having a low submittance rate of FAFSA applications.
Say that one more time for the people in the back. Historically.
Shelby County has had a low submittance rate for
Man.
FAFSA. Now it did increase last year.
Yes.
Okay.
I-
We made some gains, as
We
they say.
did.
We like gains.
Yes.
And we want to keep that momentum going.
Right.
We definitely want to
Right.
keep it going.
I think we closed out last year with our numbers increased from 3 schools that were FAFSA champions to 19 of our high schools.
3 to
Yes.
19.
Yes,
So
yes.
that's 16. That's some
We
good
did it.
numbers.
The class of 2023, they did their thing. So let's see what the class of 2024 does.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right. So look, I want to challenge y'all with this. Like, I don't want to wait too long to create these PSAs, right? So if y'all can, jump on the email and put some wording together. The quicker y'all get it together and get it to me, the quicker we can get it in rotation. Because this is I think the most important time for radio to be used to help get this word out. Because if this is this important, we have a vehicle to bombard these parents. Like, man, we gonna hear this again? Because Kathy and myself, we can program the station to where we can have it play, once every hour at the top of the hour or something, so people can continually hear that. So if I don't want to rush y'all with it, but just the sooner the better, especially if we got till the 31st. I hope everybody in the city can have their ID before the 31st so we can be ready, because now y'all got me hyped. Now I got some information that we can share with people that's going to college. So I thank y'all so much for coming today, and maybe we can get back together sometime. And if it's during the break, maybe it could be virtual, just to let the parents know how serious this is and how important we want to get their babies that money that they need, okay?
Absolutely.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to 88.5 with Brother John, the most important conversation of the year. I got 3 professionals that came in here and gave us that work. I'm sitting up here like, okay, I got to go do this work next year, but if I plan early, I can be ahead of the game, see?
Yep.
So please pass the word to somebody you know that may have a student going to college this year. You need to share this video. We're going to be replaying it on the airwaves a little later, but thank you so much. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We are 88.5 FM.